Good morning. This is call number 2022-17170 in the interest of Braden Porter. All witnesses, please raise your right hands to be sworn. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
And please state your name and your relationship to the child.
Patrice Porter, his mother.
All right. And representing the Attorney General, State of Texas.
Luis Regla.
Court will note that the non-custodial parent is Matthew James Porter. Mr. Porter is not present. He was served at 8 a.m. on April 22nd, 2022 at 7405 SH 75 South Huntsville, Walker County, Texas. And he has not filed an answer or made an appearance. Is that correct, Mr. Regla?
That's correct, Judge.
All right, we'll proceed by default.
Thank you, Judge. I'll call the mother as a witness.
All right.
And Ms. Porter, at this time, the father continues to remain in the custody of Texas Department of Corrections. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay. And do you know how long he's been in prison by any chance?
Since December of 2018 or 19, I believe.
All right. And for the time being, we expect him to remain in prison for at least the next 90 days, if not the next several months, while he goes through the parole system. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And you've been raising your son without his help for at least the last couple of years?
Yes.
And you've been making all the decisions how to raise your son without this man's help. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Given that we don't exactly know when he'll be out of prison, we expect that you will continue to be the only person that'll continue to make decisions for your son.
Yes.
And based on all that, we're requesting to be appointed as the sole managing conservator of your son.
Yes.
When the father does eventually get out of prison, would you be requesting that he be given a standard possession order so he can visit with your son and develop a relationship?
Yes.
Your son is currently on Medicaid, is that correct?
That's correct.
So we're also requesting the court to allow you to continue to maintain Medicaid going forward, is that right?
That's right.
And since the father's incarcerated, we're proposing to set all his current child support and current medical support obligations at $0. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And do you believe that this default order is in the best interest of your child?
Yes.
And you're asking the court to grant this default order against Mr. Porter.
Yes.
Judge, I'll pass the witness.
All right, the court will approve the order submitted. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Ms. Porter. You can disconnect now.
Thank you.
All right, this is call number 2021-41767. Case under the Uniform Interstate Family Support Act. Please identify yourself for the record.
Luis Regla.
Court will note that the non-custodial parent is Anthony Diaz. Mr. Diaz is not present. He was personally served on April 23rd, 2022 at 8:12 a.m. at 5018 Otterberry Drive in Houston, Harris County, Texas, and he's not filed an answer or made an appearance. Is that correct, Mr. Regla?
That's correct, Judge.
We'll proceed by default.
Thank you, Judge. To the Interstate Family Support Act petition that was filed in this case, I'm requesting the court to grant this default order under the UIFSA statute, finding that the father in this case, Mr. Anthony Diaz, is obligated to support the child, Dalianth Nicole Diaz, female, born June 9th, 2008, that the court find that based on information reported directly to the state of Texas from Mr. Diaz's employer, for the court to find that his average monthly gross income is $5,022.57, for the court to find that there is only one child in this case, and there are no other children that this man is obligated to support or that are living in his home. Also requesting the court to find that the mother should be ordered to continue to carry government health insurance, that the father be ordered to pay based on guideline support, cash medical of $225 per month beginning August 1st, 2022. And after considering cash medical, that the average monthly net income for Mr. Diaz would be $3,911.04. That guideline child support applied to that gross income would be 20% of the net income, resulting in monthly child support of $782. Also to begin August 1st, 2022. That through the UFSA petition and the other state and the mother requesting retroactive support be granted going back to September 1st, 2019 to today's court date. And for this figure as well, based on information reported directly to the state of Texas from Mr. Diaz's employer, his average monthly gross income being utilized would result in a retroactive support judgment of $17,430. And the court should order Mr. Diaz to pay a monthly payment of $138 beginning August 1st, 2022 towards that retroactive child support balance. That there is no request for retroactive medical or dental support judgments. That the court grant this default order against Mr. Diaz, and I believe this court order would be in the best interest of the child and is in compliance with the UFSA petition sent to the state of Texas from the other state. And I ask the court to grant this order.
All right, the court will approve the order as submitted.
Thank you, Judge.
Good morning. This is cause number 2021-83664 in the interest of Malachi, Emmanuel, and John Fonseca.
Good morning.
Please raise your right hand to be sworn. You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
Ma'am, please state your name and your relationship to the children.
Rosemary Torres and their mother.
All right. And representing the Attorney General, State of Texas.
Andrea Eoff.
Court will note that the non-custodial parent John David Fonseca Jr., Mr. Fonseca, was personally served on January 18, 2022 at 12:06 p.m. at 3222 Pasadena Boulevard, Apartment 73 in Pasadena, Harris County, Texas. He has not made an appearance or filed an answer. Is that correct, Ms.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Then we'll proceed by default.
Thank you. Your Honor, we'd like to call Rosemary Torres.
All right.
All right. Ms. Torres, will you please state your full name for the record?
Yes, Rosemary Nicole Torres.
And will you state the names and ages of your children?
John David Fonseca, he's 7. Malachi Fonseca, he's 2. And Emmanuel Fonseca, he's 1.
All right. And John David was born prior to your marriage to Mr. Fonseca, is that right?
That's right.
But Mr. Fonseca signed an acknowledgement of paternity for him, is that right?
That's right.
All right. And then Malachi and Emmanuel were born during your marriage?
Yes,
And Mr. Fonseca is the father of those 2 children also, is that correct?
that's correct.
All right. Are you asking the court to declare that Mr. Fonseca is the legal father of all 3 of your children today?
Yes,
All right. And you and Mr. Fonseca are married but separated, is that right?
that's right.
Okay. And are you asking the court to appoint you and Mr. Fonseca as joint managing conservators of your children?
Yes,
And are you asking that the court order that you are the parent who designates their primary residence within Harris County and counties that touch Harris County?
yes,
And are you requesting that the court order Mr. Fonseca to have a standard possession order for visitation with the children?
Yes.
All right. And do you currently have access to private health insurance?
No.
Are you asking that the court order you to apply for and maintain Medicaid for your children?
Yes.
Okay. What does Mr. Fonseca do for a living?
He's a barber.
Okay. And he was a barber at the time that you guys were married and you lived together?
When we first got married, no, he wasn't a barber right away.
But most recently, he's been
Yes.
a barber while you were married.
Yes.
And in the time that you were married, you know from your family finances that he brings home average gross monthly wages of $1,500 a month. Is that right?
That's right.
And are you asking that the court calculate guideline child support based on gross monthly wages of $1,500 a month?
Yes.
And under that calculation, are you asking the court to order him to pay monthly child support in the amount of $371 a month beginning August 1st of this year?
Yes.
And are you asking the court to order him to pay cash medical support in the amount of $105 every month beginning August 1st of this year?
Yes.
All right. Now, you and Mr. Fonseca separated in November of 2021. Is that right?
That's right.
And since you guys separated, he's given you $1,498 in cash support for the kids.
Yes.
Okay. So are you asking for retroactive support that is slightly reduced because of the cash payments that he's given you?
Yes.
And are you asking the court to make a judgment in the amount of $2,129 in retroactive child support for the time period between November of 2021 to today?
Yes.
And are you asking that that amount be paid at $61 a month beginning August 1st?
Yes.
Okay. And are you comfortable with Mr. Fonseca having your address and phone number?
Yes.
Okay. And you're comfortable with Mr. Fonseca picking up the children at your home or at school. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. If the court were to enter an order that contains the terms we just talked about, do you believe that order would be in your children's best interest?
Yes.
And are you asking the court to approve and enter an order to that effect today?
Yes.
All right. I pass this witness.